It's the Justin Palmer Show. Here we go. Woo! Woo!
When I came to New York, I came as a student. I got a student visa, right? And I came literally to study and learn the English. I signed up on this English course. I stayed for like 2 years studying there. And by the time I was training jiu-jitsu in Renzo, you know, I met Gregor Gracie over there because I have some reference of my friends looking for Igor, talk to him, maybe can train you over there. And then Igor was so amazing person. He just allowed me to training, and we started like doing competition class over there. And then times passed so fast, and past 1 year, and I decided to stay in New York 1 more year because my English was really bad still. It was really bad. And I remember 1 year after, I called my brother and said, I don't know what to do. And 1 year here, I did teach jiu-jitsu. I was working on this French restaurant, serving tables and like putting water, cleaning plates, everything that like immigrants does, you know. And nothing like that could keep me here. But the language was one point that I came here to get the language and speak at least a little bit well. And then when I decided to stay, had this opportunity in Renzo Gracie Academy in Williamsburg that I became friend of the manager over there, Leonie. And one time was missing professor over there, and he came to me and said, hey man, you want to teach class here for me? I pay this and this thing. And then I say, yeah, man, let me try. But my English is not good. He said, doesn't matter. Just do it. You're Brazilian. You're good. and then I taught one class over there. I remember I got a Hobson Gracie gi. I didn't have gi. He just like, hey man, I need some professor teach for me. It was A3 size, was like this.
Yeah.
It was like really horrible way to communicate. So my English was horrible. But my jiu-jitsu was good. And I tried to show on the technique very like technical and try to like pause to the people understand everything. And after that was like, Leonie always called me to cover professor that could teach some days. And then I started going. And then I had to go back to Brazil to visit my son. And when I arrived in Rio de Janeiro, my son used to live there with his mom. And Leonie called me and said, hey, I need one professor here for good, full time. Do you want to come back already with this job? I said, man, thank God. I'm coming back. And then when I came back to New York, I went to the restaurant, I quit, and started to live by jiu-jitsu.
Wow. That's were you a black belt already?
I was black belt to second degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to go back for a second to something you said earlier, which is like you kind of knew when you first started training that the vision was the black belt.
The vision was black belt no matter what. I gotta reach this belt, even think about get promote. I never thought about get promote. I just keep my journey because I love to no matter what. And belt for me, one thing that never came in my mind. And the results just came because I consistent training every day for years. And I got the point to be a black belt. And I'm so proud of that because this one a big victory in my life to keep and finish something that actually we never finish. We keep going. Jiu-jitsu is infinite knowledge, but making money doing jiu-jitsu was one thing that I always dreamed in my life, but I never had the opportunity in Brazil. And the United States, in New York, it gave me this opportunity.
Yeah, and not only did it give you the opportunity, you landed at Renzo Gracie's, which is like, one of the biggest, one of the most well-known. So like you went from trying to figure out how to make money to one of the most active academies in the world.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I remember when I stepped in on the blue basement, they call blue basement. I call it hell because it's just tough training, no matter what, and just big names of jiu-jitsu, MMA, and like you always step in, you see like big names of old school MMA in the time of like beginner of UFC, Pride, and still new names of UFC. You every day you see them on the academy and big names of jiu-jitsu, and they say, "Wow!" And I still think about, holy crap! I work on this place. That's amazing. Yeah, besides that, there's a lot of network, right? Like you meet so many nice people over there. I met you, man.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks for keeping
incredible.
me as a nice person.
No, you meet so many good people, and sometimes like really important people in financial, this real estate and everything, and even you know who he is, and then sometimes the people, you know who this guy is. I say, no, this is this guy. I say, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's for me, it's still like a dream being working Renzo. I have been working there for 5.5 years, and I'm so happy and so thankful and grateful for everything.
Yeah, it's you definitely feel that when you walk into the place. Like you even not being that familiar with jujitsu when I first started going there because I was a Muay Thai guy. It's an important place. Like you feel the energy in that place.
Yeah, so the first time that I stepped there, I was looking for Igor because I'm friend with Sapo, Rafael Natal, the retired UFC fighter. And Sapo used to teach there. He actually is in New York right now just to visit. And I met him over there. And Bruno Torres, he has the affiliate in Albany, also said, looking for Igor. And I remember I went downstairs for the basement, and Igor was in vacation, I think. And I met Rafael Costa, the nickname Zé Triângulo, let's put in Portuguese like that, Zé Triangle. And they said, hey, man, training here until Igor come back, welcome. You're from Gracie Barra, Draculino. Everybody loves Draculino over there. Renzo and Draculino, they are good friends. And I trained there for 1 week until I met Igor. And I told my story for Igor. And Igor was super welcome with me also, like Renzo and everybody else just welcomed so well. And we just became friends. And even before teaching there, we just training hard with each other, try to kill each other on the basement. And I think that made me grow on the concept to them,
Yeah. And were you you mentioned you were doing competition class. Were you competing at the time, or like when did you start competing?
I always compete my life actually in Brazil. And when I came to New York, it was like I took a break for 2 years, I think, for compete. It's just something I needed for myself. And when I start to train here again, I start to bring this feeling again to compete because everybody in Rams is really competitive. Like my partner in my school now, Gregor, he's still competing. Rafael Costa, my other partner, is still competing. So everybody there loves to compete and start to bring this fire on me. And then we start to create this competition class for Jiu-Jitsu. And then I start to sign up for tournaments again. I start competing. And it's just amazing. It's just, I just love it. It doesn't matter if you lose or win. It's just the feeling to be on the mats and compete is amazing.
Yeah. How many, roughly, how many competitions have you done?
Oh my goodness. Oh man, I need to go back to my 14 years old because when I signed up in Jiu-Jitsu, since then I started to compete as a white belt, 14 years old. And I remember I turned 16, I got my blue belt, I supposed to compete juvenile, but I was a little bit built up for my age. And teacher, my professor always said, no, you're not going to sign for juvenile, man. You're going to sign as adult. I don't know. It's been like 24 years competing. I have no idea how many competitions I did. I have a good medals, but I don't know. I don't know. I probably has maybe 80 medals.
Wow.
It's hard to count. Of course, I lost a lot of tournaments, right? But I did the good ones. I don't know. Just it's a big number. I
Yeah.
compete a lot.
Was that did you always want to compete as well as part of it, or that was just kind of part of the journey?
It is competed. I think like everybody should compete at some point. I think the feeling to know what is to be there and compete against somebody that you never trained before with, to challenge yourself in different skills. Because in some point when you train, no matter how rough is the training, how really hard is the training, everybody. And even someone is better than you, you still be able to account that because you know the game. And when you go to the tournament, it's completely different. It's different world. It's like you don't know what the guy gonna try on you. Everything's new. And then this feeling to challenge yourself against different knowledge and put it is like to compete, make you learn a lot. And it make you realize that how much you need to train to be able to win that thing, because it's not easy.
Yeah.
And I think this is, I said, like, it's really important for the jiu-jitsu at least has one experience, even if it's not what they want for life. And for me as a professor, I need to have this experience to give to my students as well.
For sure.
I knew when you train real hard in the academy is one thing. When you do competition class, that you push yourself a little bit more, even has really big names and good competitors, is one thing. But when you go to the tournament, is really above the feeling that you feel on these three steps. Just training your competition class, no matter how hard it is, the competition always gonna be harder.
Yeah.
And then you learn
pressure, right?
you learn about a lot about timing, pressure, manage your energy, play the game as a score situation, right? And I know because the last tournaments that I competed in New York was the last two Pan Am's no-gi that I did. I went to the final, and in both I can tell was one of my best fights in my life. And I lost because I was not updating in terms of the strategy in points.
Mm-hmm.
I was really doing my jiu-jitsu open, just do what I do and let's fight. And the two guys literally play the game. They score on me and they, stole the time, played the situation, and I was chasing, and they defend. So, and then I realized that's the new jiu-jitsu now, how to use a little bit more strategy in terms of time, score, to be able to win. And then the win is the count the most now. And for me, was the fight.
Yeah.
It was the big mistake on these 2 years, the last 2 years that I compete Pan Am's. I played my old school, let's do it. And these guys now changed the strategy. They matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like a completely different game.
Right? It is. If you see, like, I watch a lot of like highlights on the old school, right? Like jiu-jitsu and whatever, like Roleta against like Jacare, whatever, like big names in jiu-jitsu old school. And it was intense. They never stop. It's just like blah, they scramble and double legs and takedowns and keep going. And it's funny because you don't see them look the time or the points. They just fight. Just like they are inside on this bubble, and it seems like two pit bulls try to take the ear off of the other guy. And today is beautiful though still, but you can tell they are more technical. They look at the time all the time. They see how many points they do. Sometimes they score a little bit. They try to get a little bit more in defensive situation. And that was the update that I need to do in my game, to be able to win.
Yeah. And are you focused on competing anymore, or is that part
So I stopped since my wife got pregnant. It's been like 3 years without compete again, like to support her. And the babe, Lila, my daughter, came. She's 15 months, and I give my time to her when I have a break in my classes, So as you said at the beginning, I used to teach like 6 private a day plus classes. And it's hard to prepare yourself to compete when you have this busy day and burn yourself teaching. Plus you have your baby and your family to take care. So I decided to take a break from competition, because I know if I want to compete, I want to do my 100%. I don't want to go there and do 50, And even I know probably I'm not going to win, but I want to feel good competing and see what's my level, So
Right.
I need to be able to do my 100% of the tournament.
Yeah. To this day, the hardest workout I've had in my entire life was when you were like, okay, when I told you I wanted to do IBJJF, which didn't happen for COVID, right? You're like, all right, it's time to start doing takedowns. Dude, I couldn't fucking breathe, man. I really that was and I trained, right? I pushed myself.
You pushed. It surprised me how you end up, because even like I could see you getting tired, you did stop.
Yeah. I think that's part of it, right? Like you have to have, right? You have to have that mentality where like, no matter what's going on, you
never give up.
Yeah. Yeah. And just keep moving. Right.
Yeah, and I remember every time after class later on, like I always text you, hey man, how's your body feeling? You said, I'm destroyed.
Train wreck. Yeah, it's that was intense for sure. And that also made me realize, like, okay, if I want to compete, that what I've always appreciated about your teaching style is like you're all in, right? You're not training. It's highly technical, but you're also like, you're going all in on every training session. I think that it's that old school mentality, right? Which is, I believe it's an important part of training in anything, right? It's like you have an old school mentality.
It's this about what I said before, is about, I know the feeling. So I need to give this feeling to you, because I know whatever we do hard on the academy, on the tournament is going to be 2 times more, or maybe more than that. So as you decide to compete, you need to push off your limit. And I know even you do that, on the tournament is going to be harder than that. I know. I have been there for many times. And sometimes, like when I wasn't 100% prepared, it was a disaster. You live on the first mat, and unfortunately, you cannot choose or fortunately, I think, you cannot choose your opponent. Sometimes the first mat is going to be the toughest guy on the bracket.
Yeah.
And you need to give your 100% a plus. And if you not be 100% prepared, you're going to fail easy,
Yeah.
So for this, I try to like whatever. And we understand as a professor who likes to compete, who want to get this experience, who just training as a sport, who training just to keep the mind clear, because jiu-jitsu offer I think full package for for the healthy life. And who decide to compete, man, I'm going to push as hard as I can, because I don't want you go there and feel like, I don't want to disappoint the professor. I want you do a good job for yourself, even you lose. As I said, the last 2 tournaments that I compete, I lost. I lost in the final, but for me, it was the best match in my life.
Yeah.
That was the best performance that I did in my life. You know, I knew I did disappoint anybody. I did disappoint myself. I did what I like to do. I lost because of the strategy they're using right now. But game-wise, fighting, I did my 100%. That's matters. You know?
What's your view of that strategy as the sport? Because the sport, I have to imagine, since you started jiu-jitsu, the sport has evolved so much. I mean, it's gotten so much bigger.
Yeah, it's insane. I feel became so much more professional, and the level became so high, and any mistake now matters. I feel like no matter what, who make the who the last mistake is gonna win. Is that the point? Like, everybody's so good, and this strategy means like be concerned about everything and try to apply what you know, but it being super tight on the position to not open any gap, because any little centimeters gap is gonna cost entire game. And I think today's became so like equal the the level that became a little bit more tactical. They think more, they don't make a lot of mistake, they don't throw themselves so much. And once they get any advantage or points, they just decide to be there and don't make any mistake to the people, just chase the points back. That's what I think is happening right now. And personal sometimes like became a little even boring to watch sometimes. I can watch every fight, but sometimes, and the people that don't know jiu-jitsu so much say, what, it's too boring fight. But we know how hard it is to the people take one move, and this move cost all the game, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I noticed that in the UFC, like you see people, or you used to hear people booing and stuff when people when the match goes to the mat. And as I learned more and more jujitsu, you recognize what they're doing, and you're like, oh, okay, this is actually getting more interesting the more you understand.
Yeah, for sure. And the people that don't know what they seen, they just judge no matter what, because they want to see punchings and kicks, because to them is more important. But for us, in technical eyes, we appreciate. They say, oh, this guy is really good in jiu-jitsu. Look what he's doing. And this is happening in jiu-jitsu as well. You know, sometimes the people just start jiu-jitsu right now and they see some fight a little bit slow, but it's not about being slow. They are being super tactical. You know, they try to wait the best moment to try to do whatever they think is right to do, because they know the opponent is really tough, and one mistake is you're gonna lose. They're gonna lose the match.
Yeah. It's how has that shaped like your view of the world? Because I feel that in my own experience in jiu-jitsu is a physical metaphor for life, right? I mean, the art of it is a metaphor for life. And I'm curious as to your philosophy on that.
I think jiu-jitsu is exactly what it is, because it's a whole combination. You put your mind in some level that your body, and the connection based in mind and body has to be so much like together to everything work well. Because if your mind is not good, your body is not gonna work good. If your body is not 100%, doesn't matter if you might try to push, you're not gonna work. And this combination, I think, like make the sport, physical activity, mentally, like, you know, process to be calm. And I used to say like jiu-jitsu is my therapy and work as a therapy. If I'm happy, I want to go to jiu-jitsu. If I'm sad, I want to go to jiu-jitsu. I'm angry, I want to go to jiu-jitsu. I'm calm, I want to do jiu-jitsu. It's like a drug for me because I know over there is going to put everything together for me for life. You know, this is my fire. This is where I can go and leave that place with no more problems in my life. I got the answer always when I train for everything, personal, professional, whatever I need to do. I need to roll hard, and I know the answer is gonna come right after because I have a really calm mind to think about.
Yeah, that's an incredible.
I think
way to describe it.
I think for this is my philosophy, and I think for this, when I was 14, I found my path. You know, and jiu-jitsu put me in the right direction in everything. You know, and I think for this, I have a life that I have. I have a beautiful kids. I have my amazing wife. I have my family with me, my friends, and I think it's just about jiu-jitsu. My best friends, they are all in jiu-jitsu. You know, I met my best friends in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, so my basic my life was built by jiu-jitsu.
And what was there a point in time in your journey where that you were talking about that mind-body connection? Did was there a time where it clicked when you were training as you were progressing, or you always kind of had that? Because when I watch you move, I used to sit and watch you exhausted after our privates and watch you either teach class or go on to the next private. And the only way I can describe it is when someone is watching you roll, it's I put it to other people like you're watching water move in a horizontal, vertical, and spherical plane.
Oh man, thank you.
Beautiful.
It's my wife said the same, man. Thank you, I appreciate you too. Being honest, and I try to explain this for students is all based in muscle memory feeling, right? Muscle memory because it's a lot of techniques. And when you have a lot of information in your mind, you need to practice over and over and over to become automatic, right? And the feeling, because basic is a contact sport, so you need to feel your opponent flow against him and use the leverage instead to use the strength. So it's just about putting together this. I don't know, this clicked in my mind actually when I said the muscle memory, because I always trained consistent for years. I never took a long break for jiu-jitsu. I think just once I took like 3 months off because about schedule for work and this and that. I couldn't make jiu-jitsu for 3 months. That was the longest time. But I always train every day and sometimes twice a day in a row, 2 classes. And I think these automatically start to like flow your game and you start to understand natural without you think. But this is the basic muscle memory feeling that you create training every day, right? But when this came to my mind, and I used to tell people was funny, and I tell usually for my white belt students, because they said, when you gonna get this feeling, man, that you good? I said, I'm gonna give just my point. I was black belt, 2 stripes, I think. No, 1 stripe actually. It was 3 years from as a black belt. And I went to school and training, and I felt my body outside, my soul outside of my body, and saw myself rolling. It's weird to say that, but I felt such a good energy training, and every movement was so perfect, was so natural, no mistakes. It's just fluid, natural, and perfect, and doing amazing. And then I remember when I went to shower, I said, wow, I think I learned jiu-jitsu for the first, for the first time.
Wow.
And I was like, probably like 13 years doing jiu-jitsu already. 3 years after I got my black belt, I had this feeling. And at that point I said, wow, I think my jiu-jitsu is good.
Wow.
That's for this, I just tell my students, like, don't worry about time. Don't worry about belts. Just do it because you love, no matter what. More you train, better you became. That's it. And I think that's the point that clicked in my mind. It's like, oh, my jiu-jitsu is good. Was that time when I was black belt after one strike?
That's wild.
Yes.
I mean, I get that. I've had out of body experiences, not in jiu-jitsu, but in like running, right? And other things like that, where it's like a moment of clarity,
It is. It's funny, the feeling. I was so happy that I could feel that. And maybe if I did feel that, I don't know if I still have the same thought, like, oh, my jiu-jitsu is good. Because no matter what, I'm not a big name of jiu-jitsu, right? I never went to the world tournament and won anything as like this dimension. But I think I'm good jiu-jitsu for myself, and then I could feel that, and I can bring this to my students, and they believe in my jiu-jitsu. As you said, you see me training, and you said, and I say, I believe my jiu-jitsu is good because I felt that,
Yeah.
I felt. So that's make me feel happy. Thank God came this time in my mind, and I could put in my place,
For sure. You're a well-known commodity at one of the best jiu-jitsu academies in the country and the world. So that's whether, 80 medals and like, everything you do is I think it's incredible. I mean, I know, like, trying to describe to someone, if you're a jiu-jitsu practitioner and you go to a noon class at Renzo Gracie Academy whenever it reopens, or if you did, it's packed. I mean, there'd be 40 people in a room that was built for 20.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my brother.
You're a rock star on that front.
Thank you. I do my best.
I wanted to switch gears because one of the things that's really interesting to me is your choice to leave Brazil. You had young family there. Your son was young at the time. And what was that experience like for you on a personal level, if you don't mind sharing?
When I got my kid, when I had...
No, when you chose to come to New York full time.
Was well, man, I was such I still super close. My son lives here with me right now. He's going to college. I was really close with him, no matter what. Every day I was with him. I remember some parties. I always, like, my friends invite me for parties and say, like, can I bring my son? Because if I cannot bring my son, I don't gonna go. This decision to go to another country so far from him and leaving him was actually the only part that was hurting me a lot. And I tried to do the best thing that I could to keep him well, even I'm not so present. Like, in terms of financially, I keep everything paid for him for 1 year. I paid all in front for him. I literally told his mom, like, listen, I don't know what's going to happen with me, but I cannot let my son down. And I just, like, did everything that I should do it. I paid in front 1 year, child care, and I came. So in terms of, like, money wise, I didn't need to worry about him. And then it was just about missing him to be with me. And we try to do, as, like, thank God the technology today give this opportunity to be face to face online and talk to him in FaceTime. That time was actually Skype. I used Skype a lot the first time. until like FaceTime came and started to talk a little bit clear. And we talk, and I went to visit him once and he came to visit. So we planned that twice a year we could see each other. And then on the second year, I talked to him and said, and I offered this opportunity, like, why you don't talk to your mom and come to live with me? I think it would be a great opportunity for you for life. I think like to learn second language, graduate in the United States, like such a jump for us that came from Brazil, and he was super excited. The first thing that he did when he arrived in Brazil, Mom, I want to live with my father. I said, no, don't do that. She want to kill me. But anyway, so everything worked out. But what was tough? I think it was the hardest decision that I had in my life.
Yeah. And how old was he when you left?
He was 12.
And then he joined you
14 years old.
Okay.
2 years later.
Yeah.
Seemed to be playing everything, and like his mom called me and said he's talking about this, how gonna be, what you gonna give to him, what guarantee that he gonna be fine. I said I cannot give guarantee. I just tell if not work out here, he can go back whenever he wants.
Yeah.
It's the best thing that he has options. He can be here, he can be there, as long we're looking for him. And I remember when he moved, was the first 2 months was amazing. And then after that, I can tell he was start to be a little bit sad, missing friends, missing this, until the point that I could see he's a little bit depressed to be here without anybody. And unfortunately, I need to work and I need to live in home. And sometimes I bring him with me. But at this time, I always show him, this is the subway that you take to go to this place. That's the thing. And I put him to school here, a public school, and I show him the way. And as soon as he started school, the things start to change. He starts having friends. He starts to communicate with everybody. My wife, Megan, gave all the support. I think like they are super good friends. I'm so happy for that. They talk more than he talked to me, to be honest. They have a secret that he open with me. They have such a good connection. And I'm lucky on this too. I married such a good woman that support my kid.
Yeah.
But it was tough. It was really tough. And I'm so grateful to bring him. And now he's going to college. He's really good. He's super excited. It's amazing. I changed his life too. We talked about this last night on the dinner table. We just like how amazing he changed his life for good.
Yeah, I mean that's an incredible journey for
Yeah,
sure.
it's really.
You don't see a lot of fathers raising the kids independently, so I think it's a testament to your character, man.
Yeah, man, thank you. And I always push him to talk to his mom. Never like without talk to his mom, no matter what. Always I push like have been talk to her mom, update her in everything, And actually his mom is a little bit happy that he's gonna leave me now to go to college. She said, if you cannot live with me, it's better not live with your father either. It's like a joke, but we did such a good education for my son, and I'm so happy to give this opportunity. I'm so glad. And this one, when a good thing happened on this pandemic, I could push my son and he's going to college. So the people have been complaining so much about COVID. I got it, but I'm grateful still. Have a good stuff on this year for my life. For sure.
Yeah. It's, well, you could tell even in the very few times that I've met him, you could tell like the bond that you guys have is incredible.
Yeah. We are
really
good friends. But he became more friendly with my wife than me now. That makes me a little bit upset. But we are super close. I love this kid. He's really a good kid. Thank God.
Yeah. So he's going off to college, starting his college career in the middle of a pandemic. Yes.
For now, he's gonna go to college. That's a good thing.
It's a great thing. I think it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I saw you guys, I saw on Instagram the other day, you guys did like a paintball thing.
Oh my goodness, man.
And I love that that's what you did to like send him off.
Yeah, basically, like I was thinking about playing something to do, me and him only, spend this Saturday before I go to college as a father and son. And I woke up and one day before I say, "Hey, man, let's do something together." And he said, "What are you gonna do?" I said, "Don't worry." But I planned everything before. And we woke up, I said, "We're gonna play paintball." He said, "Really? Where?" He played before, so making me a little bit more calm on that because I played out, so I know how hard it is. And I drove him to New Jersey, 2 hours away. We found this farm that became a field of paintball. They have a 6 field over there. And when you got there, was the group of people just was leaving. So we play basic one-on-one, me against him on this big field. And this kid shot me. He won 2 battles right at the beginning. I said, "Oh man, damn, I'm gonna get beat up for my son. It's not possible." And after that, I warmed me up and start to destroy him. And I remember the last round that I did, I just got so close to him, he did see me. I shot him like 5 times on the legs on the same spot. And he like, he's screaming and said, I'm done for good. I can barely walk right now. I said, okay. And then we stopped. It was so much fun. We laughed so much. And then we got some food on the way, stopped in Atlantic City to see the beach. It was such amazing. It was good time I spent with him.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm surprised that many places were open in New Jersey, right? I mean, it must have been a challenge to find stuff that was open.
I have, when I decide to do something with him, I start to search and I want to get out of the city. I don't want to be in the city, I live in Brooklyn and it's just like, the feeling that every weekend now you want to get out. You want to just fresh your mind a little bit because of the pandemic situation. I just don't want to be being stuck in the same place with this weird energy. And I found this place in New Jersey. And it's funny because it was open. On the way, we saw a lot of diners and restaurants open outside. It's not inside, but outside. There's a lot of people. That's making me feel happy, seeing the city is like moving forward. And it was great. And I love the place though. I want to come back. I'm trying to find some friends to shoot each other. And I bought so many paintballs, man, that I had to bring home. Now I need to use.
It's a good excuse to go back.
No, I bought a box, 2,000 paintballs. I used maybe even 1/3.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's good. If you want to come back, we gotta have fun, man.
Dude, I'm down for that. I don't think I've ever been I'm trying to remember if I've ever done that.
Listen, man, hearts.
I'm down.
Just let you know, hurts.
Yeah, I saw the welts on Luca's legs. I was like, "Oh shit!"
No, you got beat up, and I remember when I was leaving. I played twice in my life before, and it was the same feeling. The pain is the same. Nothing changed. And he played before. He had the experience also. And I said, "Bring hoodie, sweatpants. Because it's gonna help." And you need to do it because otherwise you're gonna really get beat up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Man. I'm glad you guys were able to do that and like send him off.
Yeah, that it's fun. And now I have 1 week with him. He gonna move for good on September 3rd next week. For now, he has some work online, summertime work that he got it, and I think he works until the 28th. So he needs to be here working. So, and then next week we move.
So is he moving into dorms or did he have to?
Yeah, he moved to the dorms.
Okay.
Yeah, single dorms. I think the only dorms is double is his dorm, but he has a good friend for coincidence is going to the same school, and they require this to be together, so they accept. So they're gonna share this room, but it's a double, but has a wall between them. They have this
Okay.
privacy.
Man, college during COVID must be wild.
Oh yeah, man. Well, it's hard to describe. I don't know what's gonna happen. He told me he's talking with people already. They're already there, and they said actually they feel comfortable. The college try to do everything that was on the requirement, like test the COVID. Try to keep the social distance. Only thing they try to always tell the kids is like to avoid parties.
Yeah.
Don't party too much, guys. Otherwise, you're gonna shut down. We help you, you guys help us, and then let's be happy. Let's be here. That's
Yeah.
what's happened.
Is the school doing classes in person, or are they gonna?
Yeah, in
Okay.
person.
Wow.
Yeah, in person. I think you can choose, right? I think it's the same for kids. You can choose if you want to go to the campus or not. And he decided to go, and I mean, I think he needs to have this experience.
For sure.
Live for the first time by himself, and grow as a man and do whatever he needs to do by himself. Get this responsibility to deal with things.
Yeah. No, I'm hearing so many different things from different people that I talk to about like what each state is doing, what the high school is doing, what the college is doing, and I feel like it's all over the place. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's hard to tell who is right, who is wrong. But for me, I'm not freaking out about this virus. I don't know. We're not gonna open for that, but I just not freaking out. I know whatever he got the virus, he gonna survive, and he's not gonna, he gonna be fine. I think, he's not the risk group, so I think he should go.
Right.
And it's good for us too, set my daughter in the room and have a little space, have a little bit privacy, a little bit, I think he deserves also enjoy whatever he needs to live on this life. So that's it. And I know it's not gonna be full semester there, at least for the fall. It's gonna be just 3 months on the college, and then he come back home for 2.5 months again until see what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully. A nice transition.
Yeah. Hopefully next semester he go back and do the same thing.
Yeah. That's so. In terms of COVID, so your academy is closed, right? RGA, Gregor Gracie.
Renzo Gracie Academy is closed. Renzo Gracie Brooklyn Academy is closed. My academy, Gregor Gracie Academy, is closed. We don't have any day specific to reopen. To be honest, as the governor said, allowed the gyms open, but has so many restrictions to be able to open. I don't think apply for jiu-jitsu academies because of you need to use mask, you need to keep social distance, has this new ventilation that they asking for. They cost like fortune, like it's different AC system that I think they drag this air and renew with the something like that. Has inspection before you reopen. And every 2 weeks they have inspection. And I don't think apply for jiu-jitsu though. I don't think. First of all, I don't gonna change my AC system because it's really expensive. Second, I don't want to do social distance in my place. As I said, it's a contact sport. That's the way that has to be. And mask, how you train with mask. It's just like unless you do solo drills that the schools are doing right now, so you can do it, but it's not real jiu-jitsu in my point. So I have a lot, as I said before the interview, I just have a lot of friends doing that, solo drills, mask, and do it, respect, but we decide to not do it until be able to reopen 100%.
Yeah, I respect.
This is my school, Gregor Gracie, Renzo They are talking about to reopen soon in September, but nobody call me or text and say anything for good. So until then, I'm waiting. There's a lot of change to do it. They are really big schools, even in Brooklyn, in Manhattan. It's a big change. It's gonna take a while to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'm wondering, do you think that some people are just gonna like drop jujitsu as part of this, or what's your view on that?
Well, I used to say the lovers, they're gonna find a way to train. The people ask me that, what is happening? What is the black belts? The people that like jiu-jitsu? I said, dude, believe it or not, these people are training. They are not stop 100%. They are going to friend's house, basements, garage, rooftops, living room. They doing whatever. They are training. But the people that just start and did feel the what is jiu-jitsu is about, maybe they drop. But the people like us, we find a way.
Yeah. Yeah. The interesting thing is, I've been teaching Maxime, right? And we've been doing 2 to 3 times a week, and I kind of just let him decide each day, right? So that he's really feeling it. And taking a step back, especially as a white belt, to teach a kid, I feel like I've absorbed a lot of the things that I hadn't necessarily processed from when we were training so hard, right? Because you really take a step back to the fundamentals, right? And I signed up for Gracie University online because it's cost effective, and I got the mats for the garage. And I've found that I may not be getting the same physical stuff, right? Because my son's not even 8 yet. Although he's getting big, dude. He's put on.
Yeah, he's tall. I would guess like 9-10 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's big. He put on 9 or 10 pounds since March.
That's awesome, man.
I was telling my wife that when he gets close to my size, he's going to be I got to keep a step ahead of this kid. Otherwise, he's going to be beating me up by the time he's like 12.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Hopefully take a little bit while. They need to respect you for a long time.
No, but it's been that's been my training, right? It's like taking a step back and helping him learn, which I'm learning from it too, right? It's been incredible.
Of course, yeah.
Of course,
he's such an amazing kid, man. I had this great opportunity to meet your family. You have such a beautiful family, super lovely. It's amazing.
Thanks, man. Well, we feel the same way. Professor Fabio is like infamous in my house.
Tell him Professor Fabio gonna help you out. Gonna send some videos that we made for the COVID time that we are closed. So I have a bunch of videos that I record before to send for my students and post on the social media. I'm gonna download some and send to you. So
beautiful, man.
That'd be good for you to practice also. And Olympia might join also.
Oh yeah. No, she's like, man, I can't tell you how proud she was to get that gi in the mail.
That's awesome.
She's
happy, man. Make me so happy.
So you guys you're digitizing some stuff.
No, we did the beginning. So when you close, you decide to do a bunch of videos. Like we stay on the academy for like hours and hours, and then we put a lot of videos. We record a lot of positions, really basic positions, nothing fancy, really fundamentals ones. For 30 days, actually, posting one position every day for 30 days in a row. And then we had a break. And then we decided to record 30 more positions. And then we went back to more basic positions like simple takedowns and self-defense. Also, that was really good. Gregor, these classes, they push, I think, 2 weeks. I don't remember. But I think 1 week only self-defense was amazing. People texted us and said, can you do more self-defense? And it was really good. I'm going to send to you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is that like a natural evolution of how you guys are going to operate going forward? Is like a mix of digital and the in-person experience?
No, actually, we stopped to do the videos right now. We want to reopen and be person only. You know, it's just like, I don't know. It's hard to describe the feeling. We don't stop the possibility to record more videos, but it's just like, it's not natural. You know, it's amazing for my students. I want to keep connect with them, and I want to they be connect with the academy. For this, we're still doing, but we need to reopen, man.
Yeah.
It's taking too long, you know. But let's see. Maybe we record more positions, but once we open, it's gonna be 100% personal classes, and hopefully soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think you were describing your style and your philosophy, and it. I think there is an element that of just that raw, tough Brazilian old school that you can communicate. I hope you do record more videos. You got, I know there's plenty of people out there that will, buy those things, but I think you should do it. I think you guys should do it. You guys have that rugged Brazilian style, and
Great, man. I'm gonna bring it up to them. Let's see. We just need to I know Gregor is really busy right now. He has the super fight in Brazil on this tournament in September, so he's training like crazy. He's teaching private a lot too, so he's really busy. Rafael had his daughter here in New York. She's living in Miami. He's been with her maybe for 20 days right now. He's between classes, private classes, and his daughter. So as soon as everything's come down a little bit, we can record some, or maybe they bring such a great news and say, "Hey, let's reopen, let's do it," and then we just be physically and see everybody, shake hands and hug each other. I miss that, dude. Holy, oh man, how I miss that. And I got a message every day. Professor, please, let's train jiu-jitsu. I cannot be home more. I'm gaining weight. I need to get out of here. And then people like that make working remotely now in home. He said, man, my office, I just make this office right close to my bed. I see my bed and all, I'm trying crazy here. I said, yeah, man, let's do it.
Sure.
Yeah, we need to take these people out of home, man.
Definitely. I mean,
it's just like being home, it just go against what they said is better to beat this virus, we need to be healthy, we need to exercise, you need to eat clean, you need to get a vitamin D. At the same time, they say less quarantine.
I know.
It's, what? It's just I got it. I'm not gonna discuss on that. Everybody has a different opinion, and whatever I say now can have a really different interpretation. So
for sure, I don't think anybody knows, right? That's the fact.
Yeah. So everybody, I think, gonna do whatever they think is the best. So I'm doing my best. I'm going outside. I'm not quarantined. I try to get sun until we still having sun in New York, because soon the winter is gonna crash here. Good for you, right? See your friend here complain all the time about this cold weather. But yeah, I'm doing whatever. My daughter going back to school. I sign up in the school, Brazilian school nearby my home. It's a full time. It's 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's 1 year to 2 years old kids. It's 10 kids in the class, and I just signed her up. She's gonna go, man.
Yeah.
She needs friends. She needs to interact with the other kids. Otherwise, she doesn't know what is share things. She needs to learn.
For sure.
She needs to play. So I signed her up. My kid go. The other big guy go to the college. And do whatever they need to do. I'm doing what I believe that is the best way to beat this virus.
Yeah. Well, I think having a positive outlook on it too is part of it, right? I mean, you take care of yourself. I wanted to ask you, we can wrap up, but I wanted to ask you one more question. What are you doing right now physically to train and stay sharp?
So I basically still teaching private class. basic like 3 privates every day, so make me really keep going. I have a really good training partners and students. I have one black belt that he teaches in Renzo every Friday, Jin. So he's coming to my school twice a week, and then you do kind of comp class, just me and him. We do 4 rounds gi, 4 rounds no gi, 8 minutes round, pushing hard to keeping the pace and workouts in home. Oh man, I miss gyms.
Yeah.
I need to go back to lift weight. I'm doing like jumping jacks, doing condition training home. You know, I have some machine that a friend of mine, she's a Pilates teacher. She gave me this machine that you can do a lot of exercise like biceps, triceps. It's really amazing, actually. That's what makes me happy as a feeling carrying weights. But that's it, 3 times a week and 6 times a week doing jiu-jitsu private and twice comp class with Jin. Good black belt, same weight. We push each other. We go to the limit, off limit actually. We got exhausted. This day I need to go online and buy BCAA, man, because my body was getting destroyed after him. I said, Jen, I'm gonna buy some supplements, man. I need to get some power in my body to beat you.
For sure. Dude, I remember Friday morning classes, like he's the only one that goes beyond an hour for the open classes.
Yeah, and me and him is like this. Same weight, and he's fast. He's a judo guy also. He keeps standing, try to throw me, and then I put him in this challenge to be standing with him. That's really tough. And after that, it's just body soreness like everywhere, you know. Body will ache. One point, I even went to the CDMD here to do the COVID test because I was so much body ache, and I found out it's just Jin. Jin is beating me.
They just told you to man up.
No, and then the results came. I'm negative. I said, just can be Jin. You know.
Shit.
I swear God, I was driving this day, and then I saw the CDMD. I don't know who knows CDMD. I don't know if it's a national thing or just New York. Is this lab, and then I just stopped and said, "Let's do a COVID test again." And then I did because I was feeling really fatigued in my body, and was just coming back to training hard again. You know.
Yeah. Well, I feel like your mind kind of goes to that place. Like I had a cold like a couple weeks into getting out here in Hawaii, and I was like, "Oh shit, I've got COVID." I didn't go get tested because we don't have doctors or anything like that. But
yeah, it's just because when we stopped, we shut down. It took like 4 months without training, right? Hard. I was teaching privates, but nothing really black belt against black belt. It's really high level also. And he called me and said, "Hey man, you training someplace?" I said, "No, I missed training." And I sat with him these times, and we trained hard. So really hard as we trained before. And I just feel like, wow. I just, I forgetting this feeling, man. And I just miss it.
Yeah.
And Jin is beating me. And
It's
every time that I want to see him, I try to take some vitamins and something like that because I want to win.
Make sure you send him this part of the episode. He's gonna.
No, he knows. He knows that. I always say, man, I'm so sore from the last time. I'm gonna make you pay today. You know? Yeah. But it was good. So that's what I have been doing.
That's
so
good.
Some 3 times workout in home and jiu-jitsu for life.
For life, man. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to getting back to New York at some point and getting the privilege of getting smashed by you a few more times.
Of course, man. And I'm really excited to one day be able to go to Hawaii and visit you and roll a little bit and enjoy.
For sure, man. Well, I really appreciate your time and the conversation. I always love chatting with you. I miss you a lot.
I miss you, man. It's my pleasure. I was really such a surprise. I said, "Oh my God, you want to talk to me in the podcast? Really? You want to listen to my voice?" I don't think it's fun. Well, let's do it.
I think a lot of people can learn a lot from you.
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate the invitation. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah. Well, let's give everybody where they can find you, whether it's website, social media, whatever your preference is.
So the social media is Gregor Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. That's my Facebook and Instagram. The gregorgrace.com is my website also. They can go there and find everything. The schedule for classes, house running classes, shopping online, everything. Besides that, we close shop online now because even the delivery is really hard.
Yeah.
I need to do personal as I did.
That was a beautiful package.
Yeah, so that's the social media. So I'm you're gonna find every information on the Gregor Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Cool. I would recommend to any jiu-jitsu listener or anybody that's interested, check these guys out. They're some savages and they're also beautiful people.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate.
Likewise. Okay, I'm going to hit stop, but just please don't close your browser.
Okay, sounds good, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it, folks. That's a wrap. Professor Fabio Coelho, straight out of New York by way of Brazil. The man is a legend. I'm telling you, if you have a chance to train with this man and you're in New York City, whether you've done jiu-jitsu or not, go check him out. When things open, of course. You can always reach out to him on the social channels for a private lesson. He's really just an amazing person. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. I got to know him a lot better and his background and his journey through jiu-jitsu and life. And he's, I'm telling you, he's one tough dude. Peace.